Hello, we're Starvaders. Let's get right back into it. Yesterday, we... Oh, sorry, this is the wrong profile. Let me get onto the profile we're actually using for the challenge. Yesterday, we were on Garu, and we managed to squeeze out a victory, mostly off the back of this chained witch hammer, which is incredibly powerful. Anyone who's curious can go back to yesterday's video. Toy Bomb also proved itself to be quite strong. This is after 2 Kaia runs. Now we're on Garu. Yeah, let's get right back into it and see what today brings. We have Zen. It's been a while since I've played this guy. He is kind of... He's a weird keeper. He has... His base summons are pretty similar to Iris's, which are he spawns these little guys on the map that you can push in a direction every single turn. His unique thing is that a bunch of his cards have the sun or moon tag attached to it, and if you have enough of them in your deck, your starting spell, in addition to just doing its thing. Once you accumulate 6 sun cards or 6 moon cards, this actually upgrades to draw you more cards or generate mana. The opinion of other people in the community who have played Zen more has been that it is during a post-apocalypse plus run where you don't have as much resources and as many encounters to accumulate stuff. It's a little bit too much effort to spend time assembling this, especially because in addition to forcing you to skip otherwise valuable rewards, it's also going to make you pick cards that you normally wouldn't, which you just might not have the luxury to do. That being said, Zen still has a lot going for him, mostly because he is a keeper, and keepers are just very good. He has access to all the usual stuff that other keepers have access to. I think his unique artifact and cards are also fine. Although, to be completely frank with you, it's been a while since I have played a lot of him. Lastly, his moves all deal damage when you move with them. They kind of after you move with a line, unlike any other move which are had by the other keepers, his move strikes the tile above the target. I think this is to make up for the fact that his starting spell is not nearly as good as Iris's, so he needs this other way to deal damage on a regular basis, and his starter attack is Implode, which lets him fire a fireball by sacrificing one of his summons. In any case, let's get right back into it. Let's see what we can do on Zen today. Hello again, buds. Syzygy is one of Zen's unique cards. I've been wondering... This is a card that might look appealing to most people when you first see it. You think, oh, Zen is all about building a deck that contains a bunch of Sun and Moon tags. I wonder if it actually is relevant here, because I think Tractor Beam is probably just a much better card in general. And, well, you all know how much I love Dodge. I think I will be picking it up here. The question is if I'm going to pick up Tractor Beam or Syzygy. I think... I would need to... But, yeah, the threshold... Unfortunately, they don't tell you out here. But the threshold for... Oh no, they do tell you. You would need 6 of each. the past me, I think, playing Zen from a while back would have just went on Suzuki without thinking too hard about it, but I think I'm going to take that, the advice of some of the other community members on Discord and just try playing a run of Zen without thinking too hard about the Sun and Moon business. Although we do have the Holiday Pack, which adds like one... It's like what? This one card that is both Sun and Moon. I wonder if that counts for anything. Oof. I think I'm just gonna run with this and we'll see. We're just gonna take some good cards and we'll see where this goes. Oh Lord, I really want to pick up another spell. I really want to hunt some fallen angels, but the Doom Ritual, as usual, is giving me pause. But we do have some pretty good starter spells. Oh, of course, dodge giving immunity is especially relevant on the 3 keepers that are not Garb, because all of their summons have this passive ability that, active ability turn on turn that lets you push them, which will cause them to bump into enemies. Under normal circumstances, this will just kill them, because they will also take damage. But dodge lets you bump and still keep your summon, which is huge. I think I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to see if I can get away with grabbing a spell here. So Astral Call, the default starter spell of Zen, lets you just grab a Sun and Moon spell from your discard pile. From your draw pile after you shuffle your discard pile back in. I wonder what this turn is currently going to look like. It's going to be... Yeah, we're going to have to spawn one of these. And it's looking like we need to do this. Yeah, we need to go here. And we need to sacrifice it and kill the one that's challenging. Interesting, right. That will cause the Vendroids to move forward a little bit. Okay. Here's what I think I'll do this turn. Yes, we will go here. Move up like so. Oh, this does not leave me with enough mana to do quite what I wanted. Yeah, this is what I'll do instead. I will Tractor Beam over there and then bump this Vendroid to take it out of circulation. And then we're left with this board. I think, yes, I'll do this. Oh, I guess I could actually draw one of these, kill this guy, and then we kill this guy. That's 6,000 stars. then yeah, the rest of this fight should be very simple. Yeah. Just go up here, and then next turn it is locked. Just bump into him, and that's it. Okay, decent payout. We get to pick a spell. Hatch and Charge are both... These are both spells that require some work to be really good. Charge requires you to have a good summon to recharge, because as it currently stands, the recharging the souls and lunas are fine, but it's not fantastic. Obviously, with recharge and us having dodge, like, that does give it some value, because that will mean that, like, we can get more value out of a single summon within the same turn by just, like, dodging, bumping, charge, and then we can move again and then bump again. The other alternative is to pick up Hatch, which requires some combination of, like, cooldown acceleration and also recharging the dragons that it eventually spawns to be truly excellent. At this current juncture, it is not, like, fantastic by itself. I'm almost tempted to just reroll these, because, well, we're playing on a pretty brutal difficulty. I think I need something that's a little more immediately impactful. Okay, these two are a lot more just good right now, which I can appreciate. Exalt, just drawing 2 is just good. No if, what, or buts about it. And Enhance, from what I understand, Enhance can be a little bit annoying in that sometimes it'll upgrade some of your more crucial cards with Echo, which will purge them from your deck, and you obviously don't want that. But beyond that, it is a card it is a spell that'll just augment your deck as the turns roll on, and it will excel in a longer fight. I think both of these are perfectly acceptable picks right now. I think I'm going to pick up Enhance and just see where it takes me. And I think for our second top, I will be picking up an artifact. Just like I said yesterday, the Keepers have a lot of fantastic artifacts in their pool. Alright. So, what are we trying to do this turn? I'm salivating over the thought of killing this, like, collection of 3 fallen angels. Currently, I'm trying to figure out how we are going to do that. It's looking like the key here may be to make use of the boosted buff on a line here. Let's plan out our turn a little bit. Oh, that would require us to have 4 total mana, unfortunately, because the thought being I could play Sol and Luna. I could play Sol and Luna, Tractor Beam from here to here, which would kill these 2 Migos and bump this Boomer into the following angel here. I would then align twice up to here and then finish with an Implode. That would cost a total of 4 mana. I don't think that's going to be realistic. So what I'm going to do instead is, I think I'm going to go here. I will still bump these fellas. Right. I will soften up all of these. I will soften up all of these fallen angels so that they can be killed in one fell swoop next turn with a single implode. And then we'll see if there are opportunities for us to build up a little bit of combo. Ooh, that complicates things a little bit. Very interesting. That being said, though, what the hell am I actually going to do? Because... yeah, this is, okay, I think... yeah, this is what we're going to do. We're going to move this guy over here. I once again miscalculated. It would seem that is terrible. Ugh. I guess we should. Yeah, I once again thought I had one more mana than I did. I guess I'll just be content with 8,000 bucks. It is what it is. You can't get everything you want. So we will just, I think at this point, yeah, we'll just pick up what we have left here, and then see if we can accomplish anything else. I will end with that. Quite a few pretty nice little upgrades here for us. I suppose something to explore here is if we can somehow grab this Time Angel before time expires. That would require 3 hits here and 2 more here. I don't think that's possible. And I also don't think it's possible for us to somehow... hold on. So, one property about these summons that Zen has is that depending on which side you spawn them on, I think, yeah, if you spawn them on the right, they are these Lunas. If you spawn them on the left, they're these Souls. And one thing that he interacts with is that whenever these get destroyed, they reduce the cost of a random moon card if it's Luna in your hand by 1, and then if it's Soul, it reduces random Sun card. I'm wondering if there is a line here where I reduce the cost of this by, like, yeah, imploding here, and then I implode again. Oh, but... yes, hold on. That's good. I think... that, yes, okay, that does just barely do it. That lets us pick up the Time Angel and the 1,500 bucks bonus. Fantastic. Yeah, we will just... Pardon me. I think it's going to be kind of difficult to kill on this particular turn, but shouldn't matter too much. We're just gonna kill this guy next turn. And how we do it doesn't particularly matter. Alright, big payouts. Alright, we're back here with Sacred Grounds. The same reasoning that I had yesterday still applies to Zen in that he has these sacrifice spells in his deck that could always use more targets. Sacred Grounds provides that. It provides you some immediate card draw, some board presence. The summon limit has its own implications. I think I will pick up Sacred Grounds here. And we'll see what the shop has to offer. Ooh. Soul Cage and Spirit Storm. That is a direction. Soul Cage is a fantastic artifact. Every time you sacrifice an entity at all, it reduces the cooldown of a random spell you have by 1. This can, as you get like higher and deeper into the sacrifice deck, this can provide like 5-6 ticks of spell cooldown every single turn, which can really accelerate how fast you're like casting your spells and how often you're doing them. So we're for sure going to pick up Soul Cage here, and to go along with that, here is Spirit Storm, which also rewards you for sacrificing lots of entities. Zen already comes pre-equipped with these Implodes, which lets some sacrifices summons, and with this setup, I'm looking to pick up more sacrifice cards as we go on. Spirit Storm is conveniently also tagged with the Sun tag, which is nice. It did not influence my decision, but it is a nice pickup here nonetheless. If we can somehow get to 6 Sun, Astral Call would become a much more relevant spell than it is now, but I'm not too bothered about that. I could pick up Swap, but I don't have a real use for it as we stand. I think that would just be us wasting our money. And also, I think I will be cutting in a line from our deck. Even though it is a moon card, I think keeping your deck slim and streamlined is going to be extremely important. We're going to be moving into a pretty synergy... Well, to be fair, all Starvaders decks, or at least most of them, are pretty synergy focused, but with this sacrifice setup, I'm going to want to get rid of the cards that don't feed directly into the strategy so that I can draw into the correct cards more often and have my deck be more consistent. I will be removing this Align, and we'll be facing off against the Shambler. Nope, we are not doing Moon Ritual. Thank you very much. The Shambler is probably the least scary boss to face off against in Act 1, but I've learned my lesson after looking down on the mothership for so long. I think it is a good thing to be careful about any Act 1 boss, because when you get to the impossible difficulty, they all get rather juiced up. The echoes, the elevated spawn rates, all the advanced invaders. It's a lot to deal with. I think we're going to start with an Enhance here. Okay. So what's this first turn going to look like? I think I'm going to try and... Yeah, as it currently stands, I will... My totem here is going to get struck. I think I'm going to look for a few more cards here to pick up to see what else we can do on our turn. One of the things that you can do to avoid being hit by the echoes is to actually hide behind a different summon of yours that is not being haunted. Because that entity is not considered your mech, when the echoes move and try to shoot you, if they cannot get a direct line of sight of your mech, doesn't matter what's in the middle. It could be a different enemy, it could be another one of your summons like this, or it could just be other items like rocks, spiderwebs, as long as they cannot find that direct line of sight after like taking 2 separate moves of 2, they will not hit you. So I think that's what I'm gonna plan on doing here. I'm going to try to spawn a Sol and Luna towards the end of the turn and put them right here so that it is not targeted by the echoes. In the meantime, I think I will try to deal with these Rocketeers, or at least soften them up a little bit. And then, yeah, I'll just put the Sol and Luna down here to avoid taking the damage from the echoes. Looks like this totem is not too much longer for this world, and that's totally okay. I think I will start this turn. Yeah, what you see that everything here is lined up next to each other. I think this is a pretty good chance for us to use Tractor Beam. And that gives us a... yeah, that gives us a another line. Actually, I don't think I was supposed to click that there, but it's okay. Let's start with this then. That kills the Meager, that kills the Rocketeer, that damages the Echo here. Something else I'm going to do here is this. We'll kill that Migo. You know what? In fact, I'll actually destroy that Luna right now, so we can get an extra proc on these lines. And I do think I do think I will be. I'll put another Solar Luna down here, so that we're ready to deal with whatever pops up here this turn. Let's go here. Ooh, that is a lot of swarmers. What can we do about that? I think to start, we can definitely do this. Yeah, and then just do that right afterwards. This guy should move before... oh, never mind. I forgot that he had... right, everyone has this erratic modifier, which makes them move unpredictably. I think we're still totally fine, but I probably could have played better so that that specifically did not happen. Okay, more marginal upgrades here. Enhances is getting us a pretty good amount of value turn on turn, which I'm fairly happy about. Yeah, let's do this. This will get rid of all 3 of the swarmers, which is something that we are really happy about. Then I think I'll just kick this guy out of the immediate range for getting into the danger zone first. Although echoes can move twice a turn. They might still just move all the way down to the bottom of the grid, but we'll deal with that when that time comes. For now, though, we're chilling. There it is. Okay. This Echo was actually kind enough to help us out. With this bomb here, we no longer have to worry about this Echo successfully channeling Doom. So we can just... Pardon me. We can spend our time on some more productive things, like dealing with this Rocketeer here. It will fire first. This guy will fire here, and then this guy will fire here. That means I actually don't want to deal with him. I want to... I'm gonna want to just wait here, so that this whole chain reaction can go... Oh, no, this guy... I think the auto bomb will actually... Yeah, the auto bomb will actually kill this guy before he's able to fire on that. Is that a problem? Yes, because that means this guy won't die. Well, I guess that at least gives me the license to just do this for what it's worth. And yeah, I think I'll spawn a soul right behind that. That takes care of those. Fantastic. Yeah, now Spirit Storm really begins to show how incredibly powerful it can be. I'm just going to... And that reaches the both of them. Very strong. Yeah, then we will tractor beam this fella over here. Oh, I forgot. He is not invulnerable from... he's not invulnerable from all this, all the other damage stuff, so... That's no good. Let's go down here. Yeah, I think I will just pick up the small amount of bounty there. From the Echo. This one's almost dead too. And it would be good to farm some money off of it. Getting another use out of the enhance there. It's pretty good. I don't hate just Astral Calling again here to pick up a few more things for this turn. Obviously, priority number one is going to be dealing with this fella, but also, I want to chip down this Echo so that we're ready to kill it next turn if we can help it. What does that mean for us? We're probably going to do this. Yeah. I will then spawn this. This is kind of tough because if I think I'm in this situation just going, yeah, if I use this implode up here and sacrifice the soul, the zombie component will actually respawn it, and because that resummons it, it becomes my latest summon, and I'll begin to haunt it, which isn't quite what I want here, because this Echo would then shoot me. I think I'm going to spend this turn hiding behind my summons, and we'll just see where that takes us. I will just purge this junk without using the component there. It is totally fine. Ooh. I see. So I think, yeah, we're gonna start by... Yeah, I will start by Spirit Storming here. So now we're locked to kill this Echo. And I think the next course of action will then be to do this. Yeah. Now this shooter will kill both of these. I think we'll get a 4 combo on this, which is 6,000 bucks, and then also get the kill on the winrate to take care of the immediate threat. Oh, the Rocketeer actually shot first. That is fantastic. Now we can just kill this final boss at our leisure. Unfortunately, oh, never mind. There is a Soul Luna here. Do we want to do anything other than just immediately kill the boss? I don't think so. Yeah, another good chunk of money here. Made a lot of stars off of that, which was fantastic. Well, I did say we are looking to do a summon, a sacrifice deck, and here's Reaper staring us in the face. Jingle Bells, I found this card to be, this artifact to be like pretty inconsistent. It puts like one of these bells into your deck for every single trait that your cards have. For us, that's going to be Sun, Moon, Move, Tactic, Attack. So these 5. And while those are in your deck, whenever you draw them, you can play them for free, and it would draw the top most card that corresponds to that trait and give it a repeat. In theory, like, Zen could benefit more from it because he has more like tags inherent to his deck. Instead of just getting 3 bells with Jingle Bells, he would get 5. One problem that you run into with Jingle Bells a lot is that if you are towards the end of your draw pile, some of your bells will actually whiff because you won't have anything of that trait anymore. I just realized that the reshuffle clause on Astral Call is actually pretty huge for Jingle Bells as well. I think, having talked through it, I think like Zen, it might be the best hero for Jingle Bells. Not only do you like just inherently have more traits to work with, he also have this spell inherent to the kit that like lets him mitigate its downsides. With all of that said, Reaper here is, I think, exactly what we want, because it sacrifices every single one of our summons every single turn, and it blasts them, which means it strikes all the adjacent tiles. This is going to power up Soul Cage and Spirit Storm like crazy, and also give us a huge amount of output as long as we can move our summons into position. So I think that's what we're going to pick up here with Reaper. There are a few cards out here that would really power this up. A legendary card called Oru really comes to mind. There are some other ways for us to just like put out a bunch of summons. I would not mind the spell that makes totems, because that's just at that point that's just a missile strike that also processes a card. In any case, I think Reaper is exactly what we want, although Jingle Bells I do think would be pretty excellent, having thought through it. Let's pick up Reaper, and let's see what Act 2 has for us in store. I do kind of just want to pick up a spell now. Artifact definitely is tempting, although, of course, the sponges, I think it would spawn like 3 of these sponge pluses, which all require like 9 hits. That might be a little tough, but we do have Reaper to help us with output. Whatever the case, we're gonna pick up a new spell here to finish off our collection, and we'll see where it gets us. Let's start with an enhance. Yeah, I think I'll do this to start us off, and then we will Implode our guy. I should have drawn a card with it before that, because there was no reason not to. And we will dodge up here. I think we'll just save everything else that we've got. Yeah. Yeah, you can see Soul Cage triggered twice here, and we already have our Enhance back up, which is huge. Yeah, I think from this point on, we're really going to focus on, like... Well, first of all, I'm probably gonna remove all 3 of the Implodes from our deck, and then the rest of our build is just gonna focus on getting as many summons out there as possible, and then also getting as much mobility out there as possible, so that like we can move the souls and lunas that we spawn up into good positions to explode onto our enemies. I think I'll start this here. We'll do that, and we will kill this guy, because I am spawning this guy. Maybe I should have saved the mana, now that I think about it. I spawned this guy mostly just to like reduce the cooldown on Enhance here. There's what I was talking about from earlier, in that like one of the possibilities with this stuff is just you might run into the echo component, which gets rid of the summon. I think I would like to pick up this Time Angel here, and I do feel confident enough about our like our ability to deal with these, because we have Reaper. I'm not super pressed about like dealing with it right now, and I think the optimal play here is actually this. We move up, Implode, zombie. The zombie component helps us respawn another Luna here, and then we just go up, down here, and then we go here, which lets Reaper deal with the splitter. After that, we are going to run this guy up. Yeah, the death from the Luna actually discounted that, which gave us the 1 spare mana to even deal with these 2 slimes. At this juncture, I am not worried about this encounter at all. In fact, I'm feeling very good about our deck's future at this juncture. So, I think to finish this fight off, we can just walk up. Ooh. Yeah, whatever. I was thinking there might have been a way for us to kill all of them there. There may have been. I might have just misplayed. But the way I played there made it impossible on that particular turn. Alright, last spell. Oh, we do have a way to really speed up Meteor Fall. This could be an awesome Meteor Fall deck. We're also going up against the Mega Blob, which is very much a volume kind of second act boss in it, as opposed to the Bees, which is a very precision focused second act boss. I think if we were up against the Bees, I would pick up Fireball, which gives you like much more control over where this damage comes out. But against a volume-focused boss, I think Meteor Fall is going to be the very obvious pick. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to be very happy about it. Oh, 2 copies of a random common artifact. There are some bangers out there, for sure, and we also have 3 reroll tokens here. slow start, obviously pretty bad, but we do have the Sacred Grounds here to mitigate it to some extent. It lets us... Sacred Ground also basically just says, you at the start of the game, if you want, you can just draw 2 extra cards, which we're actually always going to do because it's free value that we will just miss out on due to Reaper if you don't use right away. I think this is a pretty this is a pretty... It obviously it still matters, but like it does not hurt us as much as you might expect. I am going to go into here and look for 2 copies of a random common artifact. There are a lot of them that can have some... let's just say there are some pretty broken things that can happen in here. And I'm excited to see what it brings us. Let's draw these. Yeah, I think then I will do a little enhancing. I guess maybe the play here was not to even use enhance at all, and to just try my very best to like power out a meteor fall using soul cage as quickly as possible. That might have been the play. I do still feel that we're going to be totally fine. Whatever this deck struggles on, it is not going to be with volume. Yeah. Let that guy die there. This will get us immediately to Meteor Storm. Yeah, it would have been nice to grab that Time Angel, but I don't think it is entirely necessary. We're full on Chrono Tokens, and we're pretty flush with cash. So, Meteor Fall deals 15 damage, spread out randomly across all the enemies there. It is a very strong spell, predicated on you being able to like power out. Predicated on you being able to power out an activation. Because normally 9 turns would be a whole eternity. Most fights are like over within like 5 to 7 turns at the very most. So you really need to find a way to accelerate it. Reaper, Soul Cage, obviously a fantastic option, but there are some others. Double gift card. Double gift card is that's asking a lot of us. Obviously, getting back dodge every turn is just good, but like for the double here to really matter, we would need like a bunch of zeros in our deck, which maybe that's something I'm interested in, because like getting a dodge every turn is already fantastic, and if we can get like a second 0 cost in there, I don't think that's going to be too challenging. We have a whole shop ahead of us, and we have like Act 3 as well. I think I'm going to pick like... I would be pretty happy just picking up a singular gift card here, and like the second one means there's going to be a lot of upwards mobility for us as far as like squeezing a lot of card advantage out of these. So yeah, we're going to pick that up and see where we go from here. Alien Rock. Alien Rock. A reference to one of my regular viewing targets. Aliens Rock, a very good like puzzle focused variety gaming channel. I'm a big fan of theirs. There are actually a lot of content creator references among the artifact pool in this game. It's a good time. Quick Cast, unfortunately not at its best in this deck because Astral Call is just very mediocre as it currently stands. Pea Shooter, we don't really repeat that much, honestly. And yeah, unfortunately Quick Cast will also purge itself, so it's not the most compelling target for gift card. I don't really like... Mittens is something. Mittens is something for sure. I don't hate Mittens. It's fine. Draw 2 cards, cards are unburnt and become frozen. It's really whatever. I think I am going to reroll this shop and look for something better. Okay, Toymaker and Wormhole are both awesome artifacts. Toymaker lets you spawn entities that are... yeah, anything in your deck that spawns entities, they are not discarded at the end of the turn, which lets you just like keep things that spawn entities turn on turn. This is like a pseudo form of card advantage in that like any of these souls and lunas that you don't use from a turn will be preserved in your hand. You can have it for a future turn. It's very strong. What else am I thinking about here? I'm also looking at potentially picking up this combo here of Sacred Gems and Translocate. Translocate works really well with Sacred Gem. In that Sacred Gem, well, let's talk about Sacred Gem first. This is a card that's a junk and a tactic. When you play it, it purges itself, and it has this line of text that says, when it leaves your hand during your turn, spawn a totem on a random tile. Obviously, you can just play it. That would purge it from your hand and get you a golem anywhere, but Translocate works especially well with it because it lets you discard the Sacred Gem, and then also just, with its second line of text, immediately put it anywhere you like. And then it also draws you a card. My dream purchases here would be a combination of Toymaker, Sacred Gems to keep them in my hand, and then pick up Translocate to also be able to, like, put them anywhere I want. But as it currently stands, I'm tempted to just go Toymaker and Wormhole here. Wormhole may be a little bit unassuming, but I picked it up the other day. I kind of forgot if it was in a video run or if it was on a practice run, but this is a artifact that like has just kept going up in my estimation as like a card. Like it does so much for you. Not only does it refund your chrono tokens, every time you rewind during a battle, you gain this warp card, which lets you reposition to anywhere and draw 3 cards. Chrono tokens, I think you can really reward yourself for like having a little bit of discipline and saving them until you get to the very final fight against the Overseer or even the Act 3 boss, and they can bail you out of some pretty desperate situations. Warp almost just guarantees that you're going to be able to get out of those clutch situations, because in addition to like drawing a new hand, seeing some new things, it also provides you this global repositioning and a lot more resources. Wormhole has gotten me out of a lot of really bad situations, and I will be picking it up here. And Sacred Gems. The tough part about Sacred Gems is that I don't have any other ways of like getting it out of my hand. I don't have Toy Darts, I don't have Mulligan, I don't have anything else. I wonder if I should just go Toymaker here and be okay with life. I don't necessarily hate it. Obviously, we could actually, after picking up Wormhole, just reroll again in the hopes of picking up a very good zero-cost card. I don't hate that either. But Toymaker is pretty strong. Much stronger than you might otherwise imagine it to be. Just like keeping your cards in your hand is just good. I think I will pick up... this is a very tough decision. I think I'm gonna reroll. I think I'm gonna reroll and see if we can find it. Oh, Miracle, or some other incredible bangers. Multi-pass and Gift Box here. Gift Box will duplicate for us a dodge, and our Tractor Beam and Spirit Storm. You know what? Never mind. We're taking Gift Box and we're not looking back. Double Miracle is Double Miracle is just a good card. Miracle just lets you draw a insane amount of cards every time you play it, although of course it starts to cost more and more every single time. I was originally thinking about looking at it because it is a 0 cost for gift card, but obviously as you play it more, its cost is going to increase, and then gift card is going to stop working on it. Gift box, however, it makes a copy of your 3 rarest cards in the deck, which incidentally, every other card in our deck is starter, and these 3, Dodge, Tractor Beam, and Spirit Storm are just, I think, our best cards, so we'll be picking that up, and we're not going to look back. Saying no to Doom Ritual again. I think because of my rerolling decisions there, I'm going to have to be a little more frugal with how I spend my reroll tokens in Act 3. Hopefully, to get the most out of Wormhole, I really want to walk into the final boss fight with like 2 to 3 rewinds so that I have some leeway as far as like not exploding when something goes wrong. So we draw our 2 cards there. I think I'm gonna put this fella over here so that he can get some value from Reaper. Although it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. This Blob Bomb is gonna just do his thing. Yeah, then I will put this here. Just for funsies, we're gonna... I do think this fight will go long enough that, like, Enhance is gonna be relevant. Although... Ugh. Immediately... Enhance is immediately biting me here by, banishing one of the cards that I really want to keep in my deck, which is that Sol and Luna. We still have 2 copies in our deck, so I think life is going to be fine, but yeah. So, after a pretty eventful turn, the Mega Blob has already exploded. I think we're going to have a pretty good and easy fight here, but no guarantees, of course. Oh, that's... Enhance, I love you, buddy, but I also hate you. You're doing stuff like this to me, man. It's... Although triple casting a Spirit Storm here might just be very good. Because, yeah, we have, like, basic global range on this fella. Which lets us do some pretty ludicrous stuff like this. So, next turn, both the gift cards should go off, and we should be able to draw both of our dodges. There we go. Very nice. Yeah, not getting both of our... losing that one other Sol and Luna is really hurting me right now. I would love to have like a second copy of... like a third copy of this so that I can get more summons out turn on turn, but... it's not looking like that's happening. So yeah, I am going to Tractor Beam here to just deal damage to this entire column of summons. Very efficient. And I also did not want to lose my summon there because that's another proc off of Reaper. Something we really want to maximize. Yeah, I think this fight will be effectively won the moment we cast Meteor Fall, which is very close at hand. Yeah, as long as we can... yeah, as long as we can cast a single copy of Implode, this will not be too difficult. And in fact, that is what we're going to do right now. So, implode. That puts the last tick from Soul Cage onto Meteor Fall, and we'll just cast it and watch everything explode. Excellent. We'll kill this fella as well, why not? Okay, well, let's explode him. Oh, sick. Let's do that. That takes care of those last two slimes, and then there's just this one lonely little fella here. Yeah, double gift card on the double dodges are really working out well for us. What do we want here? Nightbringer looks incredibly bad because we're gonna have two copies of Spirit Storm in our deck. We have these two Alliance that are sun-oriented with only like one moon align. Retrospectors, another a reference to another one of my all-time favorites, Retromation. I've watched a lot of his videos over the years. He did check this game out briefly, and I think they also wanted to pay homage to him. As far as the artifact goes, it's a fine artifact, but I think both of these get a little bit rinsed by Exorcist, which at first glance does not look great, but it's actually like one of the best just like generalist boss artifacts that you can have. Getting mana and drawing cards are both very good, and yeah, I think I've already gone into this yesterday. You're gonna want to kill the entities that are channeling Doom at any given turn anyways, and getting paid off massively for it is very good. We're going to be picking up Exorcist here. At this current juncture, I would be very surprised if we somehow manage to lose this, but never say never. I've pulled off more egregious things in the past. So something that I think I'm going to do going forward is just that I will not be casting Enhance while any Souls and Lunas are in my hand. So this eliminates the chances of them being like destroyed randomly by Enhance. So these fellas are gonna try to... Oh. I guess I could try to kill that fella. Yeah, the hive minds here, they demand that you like kill one of them every single turn. Because one of them will start channeling Doom every single turn, and then like if any of them are destroyed, you get a all the other ones get stunned, and then you get a brief reprieve from it. But they will do this every single turn, and it's kind of annoying. But I do think we're already getting pretty darn close to casting. We're already getting pretty darn close to casting Meteor Storm here, which will be very nice. I just realized we got the I don't know what to call this. Right, the chain upgrade on our Spirit Storm, which is very strong. I think I'm just going to take this opportunity to kill all of the hive minds. I don't really want to deal with them every single turn. I could have gotten another summon out to like get another tick of spell reduction down, but I think as long as we take out all the masterminds, everything's going to be totally okay. Okay, same practice as usual. I'm going to get the Sol and Luna out of my hand before I press Enhance, although it's possible that the right move here is to just actually like not the right move here might just be to not mess with our Meteor Fall cooldown reduction and try to accelerate it out as soon as possible. I don't think that's doable as it currently stands. Yeah, because we're not gonna have... So here's what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to put this fella here. I will run him up, and then I will dodge over to here. This will mean that Reaper kills this Time Angel, and then I think next turn we'll be able to Meteor Storm pretty easy, handily clear the rest of this board. I do not know how like intelligent the targeting on Meteor Fall is, because these Oculus, some of them are invulnerable depending on which way they're looking. Let's check. Never mind, it always tries to target the ones that are not invulnerable. That's nice. That's very good. Well, these artifacts are... I'm not the biggest fan of these. Baloney might actually just be fine. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, we get some incidental spell reduction. Although, actually, now that I think about it, that's literally impossible because we have a Reaper. Unless we ourselves deliberately try to get a junk proc, that's just never gonna happen. It'd be a different story if we had both Boiling Bubble and Baloney, because Boiling Bubble, this actually does count as a junk. I think I'm just gonna pick this up. Boiling Bubble lets us get an odd bump in here and there without like blowing up our guy, which can be very good. Yeah, overall pretty uneventful. They're tempting me again. They want me to pick up another legendary artifact. I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I will instead just go over here. The Void Spawns, they might as well just be regular enemies that don't do anything at this juncture, because we on Impossible difficulty do not care about Doom that... Yeah, we for the most part just don't care about non-lethal Doom. We're at 3 anyways, all the time, and going up to 4 doesn't mean anything, because when we enter Min's shop, there is this guaranteed -1 Doom that's always waiting for us. We'll go here. I'm starting to wonder if I, in theory, should have gone. No, these were the only 2 options. I am getting to the point where, like, I think most of the really good artifacts that I would want have been like taken out of the pool. So maybe like the power of a artifact node is like decreasing pretty steadily. But I'm still not going to complain about seeing one of these. Oh, interesting. I just realized the copies made by gift boxes do not inherit the Sun and Moon tags given by Zed. I wonder if that's intentional. That is very strange. Well, it don't matter so much, I suppose. In any case, this fight is not going to be challenging at all, just because we can, like, just 100% ignore its only gimmick. But, I'm not going to complain at all about a easy fight here. We take him where we can get him. 1 and a 2, and it's done. Rosary... Multipass. Multipass generates us mana, which is just pretty good. Alien Rock gives us card advantage. I wonder which one we need more of. We have... I guess we already have a lot of card advantage through, like, the double gift card, which, like, brings back the dodges that always draws us more cards. I think... because of that, I will be picking up Alien... No, I will be picking up Multipass here. Much as this might be somewhat tempting... the one thing about it is, like, Alien Rock will draw us into more Souls and Lunas, which I think I'll actually pick this up now that I look at it. I don't hate that idea at all. Do I need any of these? Lunar Probe. This is just another card that makes another summon, which is fine. Oh yeah, by the way, we need to get rid of these pronto. I do not want these in my deck. I want to just draw into summons as often as possible. And yeah, you know what? Let's pick up a Lunar Probe. It gives us a good amount of reach, and it's another summon that we can put out with Reaper. Do I care about Storm Chaser? Don't think so. Not necessarily. There is some value to it, being able to like nudge something every single turn and then like positioning them correctly for Reaper. I think instead of re-rolling and looking for something else, I will pick up Storm Chaser. It is going to be tangentially helpful. I'm not going to tempt fate and re-roll this. Aegis Invader is one of the worst ones that you can get. It puts a lot of pressure on you, but I think we'll have enough output to cope with it, and there always is the chance of you re-rolling into a Doom Ritual, which would be disastrous. Alright, I feel very good about the trajectory of this run. I think we've gotten we've gotten a very strong engine going. Our deck is lean, it's consistent in doing what it wants, and we have a very strong win condition in Meteor Fall. The one qualm I would have about this is the fact that, like, I think Hemophage is it's to some extent a pretty, like, precision-based boss of, like, it wants you to do a few things, like, oh, I just realized Totem does mean that we won't, right, getting Lunar Probe does mean we won't get to have, a second copy of Dodge. Maybe I should have also removed Tractor Beam instead of picking up Storm Chaser. Because, yeah, it always targets the three most rare cards in your campaign deck. How much will that hurt us? It's gonna not be awesome. I'm not gonna hold you. Because, yeah, now we won't always get that extra bit of value. That being the case, I think I'm still just gonna... Yeah, I'll do this. I'll push this fella over here. Just gonna put as many of these guys out onto the board as we possibly can, and then... Yeah, I think we'll end it there. So... Do I want to... I think I still want to enhance my card. This is going to be a pretty long, drawn-out fight. That's going to be... That is going to be helpful in the longer run. Alright. Here's the classic. Oh, getting rid of that shield actually doesn't do much because... Oh no, that wasn't the regeneration shield. That was Aegis Invaders. Duh. Alright. What the hell are we actually going to do here? Yeah, let's just kill this guy to start with. I'll move this fella up here. Oh, that will actually hit the Hemophage and cause it to spawn more things. Maybe that's not great. I wonder if I spent too much time fiddling around on nothing, and I might... Ugh. That's bad. That means I won't have access to, That means I won't have access to Meteor Fall next turn. I might you know what, I'm actually going to redo this turn. So yeah, we're going to put this fella here. He's going to go here and just chill. guess you can go here. You know what? This warp can actually stay in circulation. It's gonna be totally fine. I just need one of these cooldown procs to land on Meteor Fall, and then we'll have access to it for this channeling turn. Very good. In theory, this should deal with this should deal with this little like outburst here. This will also give us some mana and cards from Exorcist, which is going to be very helpful. Yeah, we'll run this up here. This will kill that Echo with the help of Reaper. Yes, yeah, this one doesn't really matter, but that's totally okay. We'll put this fella here. Put this fella over here, we'll put this fella over here. Yeah, this deck is, at its best, is really just churning out a lot of summons turn on turn. We can start using Spirit Storms. Yeah, Spirit Storm's got a 13 range. It's going to be able to hit basically the entire map. I do think I'll have some of, actually, does Warp have, it does, oh my god, we can give it, Mirror? That's huge. Hold on, I kind of want to hit it with that now. Damn, give us a second, y'all. That is crazy. So we can put this fella up here. How many more cards can I get out of my hands? Because Dodge actually introduces another thing here. Oh yeah, this guarantees that Warp is going to be one of the hits on Enhance. Didn't get it, unfortunately, but it's okay. That's still a huge tech. That's insane tech to think that like, you could possibly just get a Warp every single merry-go-round if you play your cards right. Yeah, we'll start here. We'll put this fella here. I think as long as we manage our spell cycle correctly, we will always have access to a Meteor Storm. Anytime, the Hemophage is about to do his little spoinkly do stuff. That's just a little Reaper action. Here comes the Doom Channel, but it doesn't matter because here's Meteor Fall. I think we might just be able to kill him here. Oh no, we won't, because he will keep replacing himself with the other Hemophage copies that are out here. Bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Oh hey, why not? A little bit of extra value here, I think. Almost every card in our deck is upgraded at this point. We'll pretty soon be able to just like stop cranking upgrade at all. This might be this might be like optimal Zen gameplay where like Astral Call is just taking a backseat and not doing like anything at all, and I'm still doing perfectly fine. I don't know. Okay. Oh, interesting. That's really cool. I did not know that gift card triggered before you drew cards for your turn. That's very cool. Oh, tell me Bubble doesn't have that. Bubble does not have that thing. Okay. So yeah, I think the rest of this fight will be very simple. We're almost at the end here. The Hemophage is going to fire up its final attack. Just like that. Yeah, just gotta kill the Hemophage and then we're all good to go home here. Is there a clean way for us to... Oh wait, no, there is. We have Reaper. I almost forgot. Yeah, when the Hemophage is on 1 health, you don't actually have to take out the remaining blobs. Just, like, dealing one last hit to him will kill him. Like so. Alright. Here we go again. Come on, Zen. Just let me play the game. Please. Alright. I do have a feeling that this is not going to be a very hard fight, but never say never, I suppose. Things could always go wrong. I think I'll just use that to delay the advance of the hands a little bit. Might as well do that. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. And you know what, yes, we will kill that guy so that he does not threaten us with move next turn. Excellent. I think I will actually try to kill this guy instead of the mini blob up here. Do I want to draw another card? I think I'm okay to just chill. Actually, maybe I should be deliberately letting enemies channel Doom because of Exorcist. I've kind of forgotten about that at this point. So yeah, don't... Oh, is Lunar Probe also it also has a... that kind of a component, so we really don't want that to happen to our precious little summons. I'm not going to... Yeah, I'm just going to do the usual thing of I'm going to put all the summons out of my hand before we click on enhance here. I guess we can always do this. And yeah, then we'll call it a day. Meteor fall. The first of many, I'm sure. So do this, do that. That's no problem. I'm just pumping. I'm just doing the thing. Every turn we pump out as many summons as possible to have Reaper feed directly into Soul Cage, and then we'll turn that into as many castings of Meteor Storm as we can, or Meteor Fall. So here, put this fella up here. Then he can bump into the hand here. Let's delay the progress of this one just a wee tiny bit. Then, yeah, why not? We'll make the next one card free. Okay. So now, the last thing we need to do is just to kill this one hand here, which shouldn't be too difficult. So if we just do this, dodge into one of these, that'll deal with it nice and cleanly. We still have 2 charges of the chrono tokens here, which is going to help us avoid any unfortunate incidents, hopefully. Yeah, at this point I think I can just do whatever I want. I'm not sure, but it seems plausible. Yeah, we have a very strong deck with like basically no misses. I think most of it is upgraded. I don't want upgrades on my Souls and Lunas. I think I'm most at this juncture I'm just gonna leave Enhance on perma not casting. And all of our cooldown reduction is gonna go towards Meteor's Fall. And yeah, we're just gonna chill. These 2 are going to come down in Channel Doom, which is perfect because it feeds further into Exorcist. So we'll do this, and we'll do this. I guess why not, right? Put this fella down here. I'm just gonna pass the turn. I do know that if you kill enough of these guys, at some point they'll all start channeling Doom regardless of where they are. Clearly that's not where we are at right now. I'm gonna save our Meteor Fall for until that moment, if we even are forced to deal with that, because it's looking like maybe I can get away with just killing everything before that even happens. Yep, we sure will. Which is great news. That means we'll have a charge of Meteor Fall to use freely for this next phase. Yeah, Lunar Probe has this weird quirk of only being able to be put on the right side of the map, so something we might begin to struggle with a little bit is going to be anything that comes out on the left side of the map. I think Tractor Beam will be able to help us a little bit with that, as well as dodge. So I'm not too worried, but in any case, let's just let this sucker rip. Okay, that was pretty nice. Then we just, put this fella out here. This will actually let us also kill that guy so he doesn't channel Doom with the rest of them. I might have rushed a little bit here. with like how fast I've gone through all these phases, but I do think Exorcist is going to help us out a lot with like getting enough resources to deal with everything, even though this might ordinarily be considered a lot of pressure all at once. Yeah, we're just gonna... So that guy will be totally fine chilling there. Then we kill this thing. And I suspect we might just be ready for the final round here in a little bit. So we're going to kill this guy. That's going to trigger the final phase here, but shouldn't be too difficult for us to deal with. So we'll just pick both of these up. Is there any way for us to give this stuff repeat? I don't think so. Just let you. Let's just let her rip. I'm pretty sure that our extra copy of our cast of Meteor Fall will help us take care of whatever's left. So nothing to worry about at all here as far as finishing the fight. Here's Slinger's assist. Let's get a bunch of X strikes down. This might just finish the fight, honestly. Oh nope. One last little boop with the Meteor Fall, that will finish the run. Well, that was a pretty cookie cutter's sacrifice build that you might pick up on the other keepers. This is why like Zen is probably my least favorite keeper. I feel like his gimmick is very impractical and doesn't add enough to like really shake up the formula of like how the keeper class is played. All the other three, I guess, have a lot going for them in that like Iris gets to just be like the default keeper. She is very flexible. She has a lot of different routes. Zen kind of has that, except his special gimmick that he tries to add into the mix just doesn't do much. Because upgrading Astral Cult takes an astounding amount of effort. Obviously, at the end of the road, you get a very strong spell, but like you could instead just be spending that time building a more efficient and powerful engine that does not require you to put bad cards in your deck and like keep them there, which is kind of sad. I, as a new player, thought his gimmick was kind of cool to figure out, but the sad truth is, at the end of the day, I don't know. You kind of just play him like Iris and ignore Astral Call most of the time. It is what it is, you know. We still won with him. I still think he is a very powerful pilot just because of how much flexibility and options you have as a keeper of like microing your summons, making decisions with like how you manage your spells and everything. He still has a lot going for him, and we did get the dub today. Well, that is going to do it for today. I'll see y'all tomorrow for another run. So, yeah. Bye!